Hey, welcome back to True-Moto-Resto. This is my 2017 Suzuki Boulevard M109R. It's an 1800cc liquid-cooled V-twin, bags of power, bags of horsepower. It's lots of torque. It's a beautiful bike to ride, lots of fun. And it's got Freedom pipes on it. These are really loud. And today I'm going to put on a set of quiet baffles for these Freedom pipes. And a gentleman that I met was exceptionally kind and generous enough to allow me to borrow a set of quiet baffles for the bike. So he's got exactly the same pipes on his bike, and he put the quiet ones on. I actually preferred the loud ones, so he put the loud ones back and brought these down for me to try, which was super nice of him. Very kind, very generous, Claude. I much appreciate it. Thank you very much. And then if I like them, maybe we can come to an agreement on an opportunity for me to buy them. So basically, these are the kind of baffles that they're not an insert into the existing pipe. What you do is you actually remove the loud baffle completely, and then this replaces it. So basically you just replace the end section of the pipe and bolt this one on instead. So the process will be, as I understand it, I got to undo this footrest mount, and then I have to, there's I think 3 gear clamps, or depending where you are in the world, Jubilee clips, that'll have to undo these heat shields, allow the heat shield, and then you have to, once those 3 clamps are undone, then I can slide the pipes off the end, and then there's some bolts that have to be undone in order to remove the loud baffles, and then attach the new ones, and then the whole process in reverse. So apparently it should take me about an hour. We'll see. And maybe what I'll do is I'll record a little video of the pipes with the loud baffles on, and then I'll record another video with the quiet baffles on, and then we'll see if we can tell any difference. Apparently at idle it doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but with some revs it does. So I'll shoot some video. I don't have a GoPro, so I can't really record anything while I'm riding the bike, but I'll see what I can get with the bike here in the garage. These are the loud baffles. All right, so the heat shields are off. There was I think 5 gear clamps on that rear cylinder and 4 gear clamps on the front cylinder, and what a huge pain in the ass it is taking those off with the pipes still on the bike. So now it's pretty obvious why they recommend putting the heat shields on before you put the pipes on the bike. But since I'm just doing a baffle change at the end, so these are the baffles here. They basically clamp on there, and then this is the piece that we're going to replace with those. So now I'm going to take the baffles off. All right, so pretty much an hour in to put those new baffles on, and so now all I got to do, I guess, is put the heat shields back on. So it took me an hour. It was a bit of a pain. Not difficult stuff, obviously. It's just taking bolts out and loosening stuff off and so on. But there's a few obstacles in the way. On this bike, the servo controller from the stock pipes is still here. I guess they left that on because otherwise it'll flow through an FI code. So it doesn't have a servo eliminator on it. They left that on. So that had to be removed so I could get to some of these bolts that are holding the pipes onto the bracket. And then I also found one of these bolts on the bottom and the inside was the wrong bolt, and it was kind of chewed up. So I had to deal with that as well. You know, you get into these things and you discover what other people have done along the way. So anyway, the quiet baffles are installed. As you can see there, it's kind of the shinier part. And the band clamps are tightened. The mounting bolts to the plate here are tightened. And so now I'll set about putting that set of heat shields back on, which, judging by how hard it was to get off, that'll be a fun job. And then we'll fire it up again, and we'll see if it sounds any different. So this is with the quiet baffles. In here, I don't hear much of a difference, to be honest. All right, so here's. I'll just show you the difference here. So in these, I don't know if you can see, there's really nothing in there. You get close in there, you can't, I mean, there's nothing there. There's way in there, there's a couple of, like, looks like fish scales to say that they put a baffle in them, but with the bend in the pipe, you can still see right through. There's not much in there for baffling. And then these, you can see quite clearly there's a smaller diameter hole through that pipe, and there's obviously some sort of packing in there. But yeah, so I mean, in the garage it's hard to tell, and then really the main test is going to come when I ride it, especially third gear. It tends to be a little louder on the throttle. Once you get into fourth and fifth, I think the timing is no longer retarded on these in fourth and fifth gear, whereas on first, second, third it is. So it tends to be a little bit louder first, second, third. So we'll see how it is when I get it out for a ride. I wear earplugs anyway, just for wind noise on all the bikes, but with this bike, it's especially helpful. But even then, it's been too loud for me. So it was either a case of getting a set of quiet baffles to make the difference, or putting a set of the OEM stock pipes back on it. So we'll go for a ride and we'll see how she sounds to the ear while I'm riding. So just some final thoughts before I get a chance to take it out for a real road test. I just kind of moved it, 15-20 feet here in the garage, and I guess I would say I hear a slight difference. It's still loud, it still sounds good, but it's not as sharp or ear-piercing as it was before. So I'm hoping that kind of translates into good experience on the road, where it's still got a nice rumble to it, but not obnoxious, and not what it used to be before, where windows would rattle, dogs would hide, and babies would cry when you went past. So I'm hoping that part of it is done with, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. And just want to say thanks again to Claude for allowing me to use these quiet baffles for a while and see how it goes, and maybe we'll come to a deal where I keep them, and that'd be great. But oh, and it was a good day yesterday. Claude came by to drop the pipes off, so I was really happy about that. What I wasn't so pleased with was that up until yesterday, I thought the blue and black color scheme on the M109R that I have here was the best color scheme. And it's a gorgeous color. There's no doubt about it. It really does pop. It looks fantastic. And then I saw Claude's bike, and he's got the 2018. It's black where mine is blue. It's a metallic black, and then orange where mine is black. And so mainly black with an orange stripe. And boy, I gotta say, that's gotta be the best the best looking color scheme. So yeah, that was the only downside of my day. I fell in love with his bike and wish mine was the same color. But yeah, what are you gonna do? All right, I'll post another video once I've had a chance to do a road test. All right, so I just got back from a test ride, road test, whatever you want to call it, using the quiet baffles on the M109R, and there is a difference. There is definitely a difference. You don't hear too much of it when you just kind of rev it up in the garage, but when you ride it, it's certainly not as sharp and as piercing. It's a little quieter. First, second, third, so not as piercing, and a little more of a dull thud to it than the sharper thud. That's kind of the best way I would describe it. It's very sharp and loud before. Now it's a little duller and slightly quieter, so it's not quite as loud for sure. And then in fourth gear and fifth gear, when you're just cruising on the flat, you barely hear them at all. It's very, very quiet. If you get on the throttle, then sure, you'll hear it a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely quieter. And I think, if I go on a longer ride with the bike, one of the things that used to bother me the most was, if I'm running in fourth or fifth gear on a longer ride, because it's only a 5-speed transmission in these, then you're listening to the pipes bang away for quite a while, and it starts to bother me. So I like what I've got here. It doesn't take all the rumble and the roar away, so if you still want to have some of that, you still get it, but quieter while you're cruising. And I guess the other thing that I noticed before with the loud pipes, it had pretty much no baffling in them. On the overrun, when you let out of the throttle, it would snap and pop and make all kinds of racket, which is okay. It's kind of a cool sound by itself, but coupled with everything else that was going on, it was just getting to be too much. And with these baffles, in the quiet baffles, I noticed there's no snap and popping, etc. on the overrun at all. So I think so. Yeah, I like them. I do like them. I mean, you don't put aftermarket pipes on like this to completely eliminate the sound. I mean, if you want to do that, then I guess you put the stock pipes back on. But to have some good looks, which these pipes have, and to have a bit of a rumble without being over the top, I think the quiet baffles will do it for me. So we'll see if we can work out a deal on them. Thanks for watching.